Hey, it's the Abstractionist. I'm doing a quick video. Every time I say quick video, it's never quick, is it? I'm doing a quick video, and it's about my first experience doing a tarot event. The event wasn't specifically tarot, so tarot event is kind of like not right as a description, but it's like a holiday market, like a marketplace event where there's multiple vendors, and I was one of the vendors, and I didn't want to mention it because I had a lot of energy that I need to put out there as far as like positive energy and working through my own like mental blocks when it came to worthiness and am I good enough to like do this event. I kind of just like randomly decided to do it, and I just needed to get over a few like blocks internally up here, right? And because I was excited about doing it, and then I started to feel like I was making all these mistakes and I wasn't gonna achieve goals, and what am I doing, and a whole bunch of other things. I really enjoyed this, and looking back now, I should have did more of these events this year, and I definitely am going to do more next year. I feel like being on YouTube as a tarot reader, yeah, you may get people who want to, or just online in general, like you may get people who want to get readings. The follow through is very iffy. It's not guaranteed when people look at your videos that they're going to follow through with booking a reading, which is kind of sad because like the platform really spreads out. It can reach billions of people, and so out of the people that end up watching you, which could be tens, hundreds, thousands, millions, to have like it's a really small percentage of people who end up actually booking with you. And I think if you're someone like me who does want to earn some living, not necessarily my full living from doing tarot reading, it can be discouraging because this is more like a free platform, and so there's that. But with markets and fairs and becoming a vendor, it really opened my eyes to the energy when you're out, and really it's a positive thing to kind of like sit there in front of someone and do a reading. And I feel like I really enjoyed that aspect, and I don't know why I was so closed off to the idea of doing something in person. I don't know. I always felt like I would just like do the reading when you book it, or when you ask for the reading, you pay money, I do it, and I send it online. But there was just something really fantastic about doing a reading in front of someone and having that response and having a dialogue about it afterwards if they wanted to. A lot of the people, they ended up talking further about like the ideas that they were having or what they were going through, and I found that it was just a great way to connect in a really genuine way, because it's not really a screen, right? Like I have to read in front of this person right here, right now, and there's not any like gimmicks, editing tricks that I can really do. I mean, unless I just straight fucking lie, but outside of that, online sphere, you really have to like read. You're doing it in real time, and I think I really liked that aspect. So I would do it again. I would definitely do it again. I'm going to see any events where there's like potential for readers or just vendors in general. I am going for it with it because I really liked being out there. At first, everybody's nervous because, you know, you go to a market. For the most part, most markets, unless it's a farmer's market, are just things that people want. And so there's always an idea that, like, am I gonna sell this? Because this is disposable income, and this is something that people don't necessarily need to have, right? Like, no one needs to have a tarot reading, but it does help facilitate certain things for you if you're gonna book it. Or at least the aim of the reader should be to kind of facilitate some sort of insight, growth, perspective that helps you on your journey to solving a problem, fixing a relationship, blah, blah, blah. So there's that. Tips for doing this. If you're going to read at a market, keep your expenses low. And what I mean by that is decoration and decor and stuff like that, cool. If you sell any other items, then bring those along. Like, I brought some decks that I went to sell, and I did sell one. But most of the money that I made came from the readings, which I was perfectly fine with. I would just go ahead and do the plan that I had for the decks originally. But I did bring them along. So I would kind of keep it to a minimum. You don't want to overwhelm people. I feel like also, because it's tarot, don't overly don't like heckle people or hassle people about readings. Don't overpromise. I was just watching something about businesses and things like that, and that video really came at a good time because, I mean, this is like a business meeting. Consider it like a business, and so it's really cool that I had that because it helped frame what I was doing a lot better. I'm offering this reading to offer insight, perspectives that help others, and I'm not desperate for people to come to the table. Now, I want people to come to the table. You know, I want like 30-40 people to come to the table. But if it's 10 people, that's great. Like, I have goals, but if it's 10 people, that's great. Like, that's 10 people I got to connect with that day. So I definitely would make sure that your table has enough decks. Your table is decorated nicely, but not too much. If you're selling other items, bring those. I mean, I had a really minimal setup. What else? Other things, I would say keep the reading short if you're at a market. Just for the simple fact that, like, people are going to look at other things. You don't want to hold them hostage at the table. So that will be something I will work on for myself. And then pricing, because it's a market, yes, you want to like make money from the readings. However, holiday markets, most of the people who are selling their stuff, they're selling their things at like a regular like retail price, because they're artists, artisans, they're selling things that they made. You as a tarot reader, I personally wouldn't do any readings that are like $50. What I set it to was like 10 and 20. That was it. And that felt appropriate. It felt appropriate. It didn't feel like I was charging too much for the time that we're gonna spend here, because this isn't a $75 reading where I'm gonna spend 90 minutes talking about something. This is something where it's a 1 card, it's 3 card, and you may want to set it up like that, like this price is 1 card, this is price 3 cards, this price is for relationships or something like that. If you want to have a menu, do that. But for the most part, don't complicate that aspect of it. I say go for something quick, cheap. Go for something that's still impactful, but ultimately cheap, because like I said, tarot is one of those things where no one has to get a tarot reading. And you have to like accept that no one has to get a tarot reading. People want to get tarot readings. because they have certain questions. And some of the people where that was their first time getting a reading, and they just wanted the experience of getting a tarot reading. And I'm so glad that, you know, the first experience they got to have was with me. And that's really a blessing to me, to be able to facilitate that. And I hope that I imparted something to them. The feedback was pretty good for me and my stuff. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot. And on another practical level with this is making sure you have the appropriate, I was gonna say software, the appropriate like money stuff like that, like, you know, typical things, like making sure you have like ways for people to pay you, because cash really isn't a thing to too many people. Overall, I really enjoyed it overall, and I just feel like I waited so long to like do something like this, to put myself out there. And once I did, the reception was much better than I thought. I think sometimes because tarot readers are kind of, even though tarot is pretty mainstream now, it's still like a segment of the population that seems kind of separate. And so when I was out there, you know, the people that aren't too comfortable, like they'll look at the table and they'll walk by like pretty quick. But there is a curiosity to tarot that people have. And yeah, it was like pretty good. So I am excited to move forward into 2023, knowing what I know now. I will improve upon my strategies. Oh, another thing that you can do before I go. It's way longer than I thought, of course. But if you want to make some sort of deals that extend past the event. So I made some cards. Some of them just said happy holidays, and some of them offered like a free reading or a $20 session or something like that. And I was just like, if you want, you know, claim the session, just DM me or, you know, email me or something like that. And that way we can get in contact and I'll just do the reading per whatever was on the card. So that was cool. And I think it just helps to keep maybe your name buzzing a little bit longer. So that is my experience. I was really happy about it, and I enjoyed what I learned from the experience, and I hope that I imparted things to the clients that I had today. So yeah, all right, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.